Rebecca. I'm reporting live, as you can see, from the Fish Poster Show, the first 2 poster show at the Trump Plaza Hotel. We're here to see what people have to say about their poster art, fans who love buying poster art. Also, pins are incorporated in this show. So let's take a look around together, why don't we, and see what's going on.
The whole concept came together because we were looking to do a poster show on the East Coast. And we haven't had a poster show on the East Coast since when? Since Miami of 2009. Miami. So we decided to get a group of established artists together like AJ, John Mortar, Trip, Brian Bruce, and bring in new art as well. So it's been fantastic turnout, great response. Seems like everybody's enjoying the art pins, so it's very good.
I'm pleased to be here with AJ Masthay. Is that how you pronounce it?
Masthay. Yep.
Masthay, a fish art printmaker. So I guess how did you get involved with this, and how did you start making this as your art?
I've been an artist my whole life. I went to art school. I graduated with a BFA from the Hartford Art School in printmaking.
Okay.
At the time, more the fine art side of things, but I've always been an avid show, concert attendee, and saw some of the artwork that was going around, going back to Stanley Mouse and Jeff Wood and, those kind of guys, and thought I'd give it a shot. So I whipped up a couple posters. It was actually, it was for like a Trey tour or something back in 2001, and just kind of fell in love with it, and I've been doing it ever since. My work is very unique in the field. Most people do silk screens. Everything I do is linoleum block prints. I use oil-based inks as opposed to water-based inks, which most people do, and I think the results speak for themselves. Very vibrant colors. People talk about the smell of my prints, believe it or not. That's the oil-based inks. They have their own characteristics, and it translates. So, once people start seeing my work, and the people that work for the band start seeing my work, and then every once in a while I get one of those nice emails that says, come work for us.
How do you come up with the idea for a print? Like, I see these really like fantastical sort of designs, and what is your creative process?
It's different for each print. I like to really base it around the venues, around the towns. I like to work in that hometown kind of feel, especially for venues that I've been to myself, and I try to draw from my own experiences and really have that come through in the print. Something like a Jones Beach, obviously you want to do a beach scene, mermaids and the clamshells, and this is actually a little silhouette of the Jones Beach itself in the background. So I like to do a lot of stuff like that in the prints themselves.
AJ Masthay, check out his prints. Is there somewhere online where?
MasthayStudios.com.
All right, MasthayStudios.com. Thanks so much for talking.
Thank you.
I have an interesting piece that I brought for Phantiques Road Show today. It was at Lemon Wheel that I was wandering around the venue and saw some guys doing some construction work, and I asked them if I could have the weirdest piece of wood that they had that they weren't going to use. And they were like, what do you mean by weirdest piece of wood? I'm like, the strangest shaped piece of wood that you have that you won't be using, I'd like for you to give that to me. And they're like, okay, well there's a pile of scrap over there, let's go over there and see what we can find. So I walk over, I find the perfect piece, and they're like, well, what are you going to do with it? And I said, well, there's a little pagoda over there that has some Japanese rubber stamps. Like, they have all these beautiful stamps, but there's no paper to put them on. So like, there's people taking their shirts off and stamping Lemon Wheel on their shirts. So I took this piece of wood, and I'll show you what I created.
All right, we're anxiously awaiting the appearance of this piece of wood.
This is what I found. This is the Lemon Wheel slipper. The Lemon Wheel slipper has been coated with every single stamp that they had at the show. The flowers, the butterflies, the flowers, the fish, the koi, the Lemon Wheel logo. It's all on there, wraps all the way around the piece. And I was just wondering what this piece might be worth. Does anyone on Phantiques Road Show have any idea what the value of this beautiful Lemon Wheel piece might be?
Oh man, well, judging from, this is certainly, it has a fine lineage. It's definitely of the correct vintage. I think Fish maybe curators would maybe go for around $40 million.
Oh my God!
And that's,
are you kidding me?
Yes, and this is quite the find.
I nearly sold this in a garage sale
For how
about
much?
6 years ago. A guy offered me $50 for it.
So you would have been out $39 million.
Not $39 million. Yeah.
0.99.
So great. Wonderful. Thank you.
Many other fans woke up this morning, went straight to this man's blog. So we're here with Dave Calarco of Mr. Miner's Fish Thoughts fame.
Yep.
You're here selling your wonderful new book. So how was it? How did you transition from blogging to the book? How was that process?
It was an arduous process. I had to go through a long process of selecting not only what articles I was going to use from the blog, but also what I was going to add to it and what needed to be filled in to tell the full story that I wanted to tell. And so, I kind of took about a year on my own before I really got anyone on the team to start working on it with me, to go through my essays and work on them first, and then hired a designer, which, as you can see with the book, really he knocked it out of the park in terms of the layout and the design. And then I got a lot of the people I've been working with for a long time on my blog for the pictures to donate some pictures to the book. And then the last part of the equation was that my editor, Elizabeth Winter, who I worked with very closely putting this all together over the course of probably about a year of hard editing, and then really it was a lot of detail work from there. So all in all, probably about 2 years of work from deciding to make a book and then to actually having the product last December.
And now you did. This is like the coffee table book for any respectable fish fan.
I like to think so.
So how do you, when you see a show, and I noticed that you posted the review like quite early this morning.
I do.
So you wake up, do you re-listen to it, or you just sort of...
I generally re-listen to it after the show at some point during the night, and usually right before I go to sleep, actually. Generally wind up hanging out with friends and listening to the show for a while, and then as people begin to kind of go to sleep, I generally kind of isolate myself and just knock it out, and usually post stuff right before I go to sleep. Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
my pleasure.
Yeah, you're a fixture within the community. So
Oh, thank you.
so much.
Appreciate the compliments.
All right.
Cheers.
Double stash. Stay cheap. Stay cheap.
Hey guys, I'm here with Adam Davidoff of Fish Coin fame. He's the king of fish coins. So I just want to ask, how's it going with the coins? How did you get started even creating
Things are
them?
great. I mean, it all started, I don't even have one with me. The Maze Bowie coin was the original flipping coin. But yeah, it started with that and then followed up with the Coventry coin. You got UVM, where they played their first shows, and then Coventry Airport. Really went on break until the comeback at Hampton in '09. So the Hampton coin, you got the Coliseum, the full moon and the moth, and then the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? It's all the symbolism that I'm always working into the coins.
Yeah, how do you come up with the ideas for your coin designs, and what's your creative process
It's a
like?
combination of things. I'm a history teacher, so I'm into like geography and history. So I try to work in fish history and elements that allude to like the locale. Like my New Year's from this year, you got the manhole cover. It's perfect New York City and the train. So you got the history of like take the A train cover. You could take the A train to Penn Station to MSG. So that's the kind of stuff I work with. And you got some like lot flavor with the PH sticker and the antelope sticker tagged onto the train.
This is so wild. Do you feel like you're really a part of history as far far as like doing like ancient cultures used to make
I
sort
love
of
it.
like image coins.
That's a great
and
thing.
so this is you're creating like image coins to commemorate an event. They used to do that with like great wars and
I
great
mean,
things.
the coins have been around forever. I didn't know it when I did the Maze Bowie coin, but I found an ancient Cretan coin that had a labyrinth and then the head of King Minos on it. So it was so reminiscent. Like one of the oldest coins ever made is very reminiscent of my Maze Bowie coin. So that was really cool.
Well, great work and thanks for sharing.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Always good seeing the show live.
Alright, sounds good. Adam Davidoff, the Coin Man.
Be good, people.
Hope you guys have had a great time wandering around the first two poster show with Show of Life. I, for one, saw some great things and met some really interesting people. It's cool to see the way that Fish's creativity has inspired other people's creativity, which in turn will inspire other people's, and on and on. It's a really beautiful thing. So I'm looking forward to night 2 of Atlantic City. Once again, this is Reba Reporter reporting live for Show of Life, and have a great rest of the tour. Can I start over? Sorry. All right.